What's going on, everyone? All right, here is a recap of my April, and I'm actually going to combine this with my trade recap for today, which was May 13th. So Tuesday, CPI day. So I'm going to combine the two. I'm just going to go ahead and do, because I know I've been wanting and been saying I'm going to do my May recap my April recap. I just haven't because been a lot going on, and as you know, I kind of had to get back on the horse, right? So like I had a bad April. It started off okay, and then it went bad, and then it went pretty bad. The great thing about it is that I did take a nice payout, and because my accounts had enough cushion, I was able to withstand the drawdown of losing quite a bit. And not only that, sometimes it takes something to happen to us for us to make a change, right? So and I mentioned this on one of my last videos, that I've been wanting to refine my trading a bit and increase that win rate some, and increase the my risk reward. And so that time that I took after my losing streak, I basically was able to figure out a nice game plan on doing so, I believe. So we'll see. But anyways, let's go ahead and just jump right into the screen here. And I'm going to go over my April. I'll break that down. And then the second part of the video is going to be my trade recap from today. So let's hop right into that. All right. So let's bring this over. And I hope you're prepared. I hope you're prepared for what you're about to see, because it's ugly. All right, so here's that spreadsheet. And if you don't have this spreadsheet, or if you want this spreadsheet, you can, I'll have it in the link. It's the video that I made. And I'll probably have it pop up here somewhere where it'll show where you can click and go to that video. And by the way, I'm making an update to this sheet, and I'm going to make it in an Excel file. And there's a few things I'm going to change. So anyways, yeah, so here's my month. April was not a good month, as you can see. Lost 19 grand, 42% win rate, just under 43. Terrible profit factor. And this actually does not count, this average win and loss, and I'll tell you why. Because these 3 days right here, that brings my average loser way down. So let's see what happened here. We started off the month. It's okay. Got a win. Nice little win. $8,500. Then I had a losing day. Right here, my notes. This is why it's so important to track what you do in here. I can go back and I can see what's happening. Good setup. I would take it again. Of course, I keep screenshots too, right? So good setup. I would take it again. It was the Trump tariff day. Okay. As I've said before, my job is to know, is it me? Is it the market? Or is it both? And then figure out, if it's me, what am I doing wrong? And it doesn't just have to be to do with setups, right? It could be, was I impatient? Did I take an extra trade and I wasn't supposed to? Like, whatever it is. All right. So, okay, no big deal. Basically break even in a sense. Next day. Next trading day. All right. 11 grand, a little over 11 grand. NFP day. Great setup. And read 82 points. Nice. The next day, another winner. Great. A little over 10 grand. Major patience. Great read. And I put a note to see my screenshot. Awesome. So those 4 days down here, I'm up $21,500 to start the month off. Starting off hot. Starting off hot. Now, these 3 days, I had some accounts because, as you know, if you've been following me, I never started off with just 20 Apex accounts. I started off with 3, got a payout, added some more, got a payout, got to add some more. So I did this over the course of last year until I got up to 20 accounts at one point. So because of that, my payouts have never been on the same page, basically, where they all roll around and I can withdraw from all 20 on the same day. So it's never been like that. So as you can see, like if I go back a month here, see, I've taken out 1,000, 2,000, 2,000, 14,000. So like they've never been on the same schedule. 1,000 here. Like they've never been on the same schedule. So now I had a few accounts where I'm like, all right, I need to get them on the same schedule. So I just did a little trading day, right? Flipped a little, and you're allowed to on Apex, right? You need 5 out of 8 days. So of course I have way more than that. I'm up to like, I'll pull it up later. I'm up to like 100 and I don't know how many days. It's like 10 months old, these accounts. Anyways, so I had those 3 days. So these 3 days, see, and I didn't mark them as win or loss. So they're not counting to my win rate, but they are counting into this average loser. So look what happens if I remove those 3. Let's delete. Now we're at a 1.01, basically 1-to-1. So let's go back. So there we go. So that's why that's skewed, and you got to know that. Like if you're tracking your stuff, you can't lie to yourself. You got to know the truth. So then I came back. Well, and then I requested a 15 grand payout. It was somewhere in here. I think it might have been around that day. Or maybe right after, because I still didn't get them all in the same. Actually, it was here. After these days, these 4 days, I remember, I requested a 15 grand payout. And then after that, these days, I needed to get them on the same schedule. So I did that. Then I came back, losing day, no big deal. So my notes, I got to go back and see the screenshot, but okay, whatever, it happens. The following day, winner. Okay, made it all back up. Great, easy read, picture perfect. So, and this is why it's very important to take screenshots and mark up your charts and stuff like that. Because what I can do is like this good setup, I would take it again. I could pull up the screenshot, look at it, say, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I can see it, right? The setup, I can see it. Disappointed first trade, break even, held my bias, and entered another. So I can go back and see why was I disappointed. And then you start comparing, like this one right here, great easy read. Compare the great easy read to the ones that say disappointed. And then you'll start seeing like, man, becomes clear. Like, man, the market looks like this. I don't even need to think about taking a trade. Wait till it looks like this. This is a great read. This is perfect. So like, you can really start doing that. Of course, it's way easier said than done because you have to have the patience and the discipline and be able to sit through it. But that's also why I limit myself to my trading time. I only give myself a 1 hour window to enter a trade. And, if nothing presents itself within that time, that's it. I move along. So I have a trade limitation where I'm only taking one trade, win or loss. And I have a time restriction. If it's not in that window, I'm done. Because then that's where I start getting messed up psychologically. I start, this could be a trade. Let me. So it doesn't go well for me. So, figure that out, whatever that is for you, and make up your own set of rules. All right. So then basically, so my pattern with my entire year of trading history last year, I have a full year of data. I rarely lost back-to-back days. So like I'd rarely lose and then lose again the next day. Very rare. But it would happen, of course. Even more rare was for me to lose 3 in a row. So that anytime I would lose 3 in a row, I'd have to take a step back, zoom out, not take a break or anything, just zoom out and question like, whoa, 3 days in a row. Is it me? Is it the market? Or is it both? Let me figure out what's happening here. And then I should get another win. So that's typically the worst streaks that I've had was 3 in a row. All right. As I'm saying that, I know you are watching, you are looking at my screen here. So, okay, had a loss, had a win. Very normal. Then here, had a loss, messed up with stop placement, should have downsized due to a 42-point stop, so it had stop in the wrong place. Okay, that's me. That's not the market. That's me. Okay, no big deal. It's a loss. Thursday, another loss. Okay, there's 2 in a row. No big deal. The next day should be a winner. I didn't even put notes here, which I don't know why I didn't put notes. Maybe I forgot. Maybe, who knows? As you can see up here, I didn't put notes either. I got to get better at that. Make sure I don't forget notes. So I'll have to go back and figure that out. So anyways, then the following. So 2 losers in a row. And then, bam, got a win. Great. Nice winner. Good read. Perfect. And then got a loss. And then got a loss. Lost on a winner due to stop placement and sizing error. So if you could see the reasons why, now I'm getting in my head a little bit. Because see, now we have right here, loss, right? And then at this point, if you look, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 out of 4 trades are losses. And for some reason, I got in my head like, oh man, it started feeling bad because I was focused on, because I remember this specifically, but I was focused on, man, 3 out of my last 4 days were losing versus seeing this is still normal because I had a loss, a win, loss, win. That's still not 3 in a row. So I should have focused on that part. Said, oh, well, it's still normal. But instead I was in my head. And then I got this loss. Then I should have been telling myself, well, this was me, right? So let me fix me and I should come back out and get a winner. Well, I didn't do that. I was in my head. As you can see what I said. And then the next day, terrible trading, missed a short, then took a long that was up nicely and didn't take profit at the low-hanging fruit. Came all the way back for a loss. So why didn't I take my normal profit at the low-hanging fruit where I would normally take profit? Why didn't I do that? Because I was in my head thinking I lost 3 out of the 4 previous days. I'm on this little losing streak here. Let me get more so I can make them up. That's what subconsciously, I'm not literally telling myself this while I'm trading. I'm not literally saying, well, 3 out of the last 4 days, or, I've had 2 losing days. Let me go ahead and go for double the profit that I normally do. No, I'm not sitting there telling myself that. It's subconscious. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. Like, your subconscious mind is constantly working. That's why it's called the subconscious. You don't think about it, but it's working. Just like, your brain is telling you to, your heart, you to breathe, telling you to do things, right? But like, you don't think about it. That's because your subconscious is constantly working. So because I already had that mindset of the focusing on the losers and thinking I'm on this losing streak, my subconscious is like, make more, make it back more, make it more. So I did that, and I paid for it. So now here I am like, crap, I'm really in this losing streak. I'm matching one of my worst losing streaks I've ever had, which was last December. This is bad. So now I'm really in my head. So then here we go, another trading day. Had a loss, but now look at the notes. It's spiraling at this point. It's a different spiral from, it sounds weird, but it's kind of a disciplined spiral in a sense, but not really. So like usually when I used to spiral out of control and tilt, most people, what they do is they'll do it the same day and just keep going and blow up, or the next day and then just keep trading and over trading and just going crazy. Mine wasn't that, but I would still break a rule here and there. So like, here we go again. The next day I'm coming in with I need to win, but I'm struggling. I'm like, what's going on? Because now I'm thinking, where was that? Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm thinking 4 out of the last 5 trading days I've lost. Like, come on, give me a break. I need to get a winner here somewhere. Well, guess what? Another bad trade. But look, and see, and this is how bad I was at the point I'm not even taking screenshots because it's that bad. And took an extra. So now not only am I taking bad trades, I'm taking an extra trade, breaking my rules. So this could have probably been cut in half, this loss. You can see these other losses were 7, 5, 5, 3. It could have been less than that. So now it's like, all right, here we go. Towards the end of the month, let's take another trade. Look at this. Telling you, look at this. Look at my notes. Terrible all the way around. Need to step back and figure out what's going on. That was it. I was done. I was at my breaking point for the month. Hit that. So what I did is I took a loss, a full loss like this one, and then I took another one. Extra trade. Broke my rules. That was it. I was done. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6 out of the last 7 days on that were losing days. 6 out of the last 7. That's my worst streak I've had in over a year and a half. The absolute worst. So now I'm at the point where I'm like, you know what? I gotta step back. Gotta step back. Gotta figure out what's going on. Like I have to. Like it's not a just let me not trade the next day. It's no, let me go hit charts, review, videos, whatever I got to do and whatever I can do because it's bad, right? So I did that. And you can see the 25th was that day, and then I did trade on the 30th. So let's see, what days were those? The 25th was a Sunday. No, I'm on the wrong month here. Sorry. The 25th was a Friday. So I took the entire weekend, study, look, chart view, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Monday didn't trade. Tuesday didn't trade. Wednesday was the 30th, the last day of the month. And I took this trade. But it wasn't great. It wasn't great. So I made money, but look what I wrote here. Short was fine. Should have taken profit, then a beautiful long. So took 2 trades. Took a short. Didn't take profit on it. That means I lost. And then I took a long and made good profit on it. But here's the thing. Had that long lost, that would have been 2 trades. And instead of this profit of 16,000, I'd have been probably looking at another day of around 20 grand lost. 10 to 20 grand. And this would be looking at like a $30,000 losing month. So I took a little break from the 25th to the 30th. But that wasn't the only break I took. After this day, I said, you know what? All right. That could have been very bad. Now I really need to take a break. So that was the end of my month. And I was not happy. So then I went from the 30th until I think it was the 5th when I took my first trade. The 5th of May. So went from the 30th, which was a Wednesday. And then I did not trade that Thursday, Friday. Then I had Saturday, Sunday. So I had another 5 days that I hit everything, studied, did whatever I could to try to turn it around. And I think I did. There's some things that I've figured out. So far, May's going good. Still, doing okay. But I don't want to get into May yet because I want these videos to be like monthly recaps. So that's why I don't want to jump into May. I just want to keep doing trade recaps, and then I'll do a monthly recap. And I still have other videos that I have planned. I have a list of like nice, good videos I think will help everybody. So I will get into those too and make some time to get those done and out here in the next couple weeks. So that's my trade recap. My month recap for April. Hopefully, at the end of May, it'll be much better. Which it will be. It will be. Because I'm not going to lose control like that again. There's a lot of things I had to go back and do. So, a lot of mindset stuff. All right, so let's dive into the trade recap now. So today, I said all that about last month, and today I took a trade, but not the best trade. So I would call this trade like a C plus maybe trade on a scale. So let's start off here with the daily chart. Well, let's go to the weekly first. The weekly I've been very bullish on, as you know. Oh, and by the way, one of my trade recaps last time, I understand. I know I was pointing to something over here on the left, bottom left one day, and I realized that myself, this little box was hiding what I was trying to show, and I never realized it. So I'm going to be more aware about that. Okay. So here we go. We gapped up to start the week. And if you look, we had a very little wick right here. So we opened very little low and then expanding up. I was fully expecting, here's the weekly. This is a weekly chart. Fully expecting to go into and above this fair value gap. And then we also have another one right here, which as you can see, we just hit that here. So on Monday. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the weekly. On today's Tuesday. So yeah, Monday. So I was expecting it to trade up through this high right here. All right. So that's where I was really looking at. If you look at this high right there, I was really expecting it to get there, trade up into here. And the next thing that I'm looking for is, because we're hitting this weekly one, we may see price pull back a little bit. We have this imbalance here. We may see a reach back up into there, but I'm really expecting price to go up through these equal highs and potentially make all-time highs. So, yeah, I think that's what we may do. So if I drop down to the daily, we're bullish here on the daily. There's that gap there. I was watching this high, which this is Monday. So this is Tuesday here. And we had here, let's get rid of this one. We had right here, this daily fair value gap I was watching. And then above that, we have these, which is where that weekly was. So I was anticipating price. I was not looking for a short at all because we were down here in this area. And I was like, yeah, we're going to run up to this daily fair value gap. There's no reason for us not to. But like I said, I believe we are going to come back down here at some point to this imbalance. Because, I mean, it's very obvious, right? Like, and because price now hit here, it could, well, we have a fair value gap here too as well. So we have this whole imbalance in this fair value gap. So we could see it pull down. Because we have this fair value gap, we may not see it go all the way down here to this imbalance, but we might. So really that's what I'm looking at. If we start pulling down, then I'm looking at here and then I'm looking at here to see if we do reach down to that area. And if we do, we'll probably go up from there. However, price is really, really bullish. So that might not even happen because we have this daily fair value gap here. We'll see if it acts as an inversion or not. It may. So I'm going to watch that because you see right now it's the evening, right? But price is still hovering above this. So if we are going to remain bullish, we could see maybe a pullback into here, like slightly. Like, I mean, I'm talking about because we closed here, right? This is the close. And then we have our opening price right here. So we may see a pullback here and then an expansion up. So we'll see on that. That's what I'm looking at for my daily bias. All right. So kind of what I figured out too over that time where I had to figure things out was how better to align my daily bias, my higher time frame bias with my trade. Because I know you've heard me say before many times that I have two bias, right? I have my overall bias and then I have my trade bias. I don't necessarily, if I'm bullish overall or on the daily chart or whatever, my higher time frame, I don't necessarily have to have a long trade. I can have a short as it pulls back somewhere. I've kind of changed that up. if my bias is bullish on the higher time frames, I'm pretty much looking for a bullish, a long trend, a low resistance long trend. So I've kind of figured out how to frame it all together. When I figure out how to put it together, what's in my mind to translate that to somebody, then I'll make a video on how like I'm putting it all together. But at the moment, because I just learned it recently, like the things that I've learned, I don't quite know how to, I guess, translate that or explain that to somebody, right? Because don't they say, the saying is you learn something, but once you know how to teach it, then you become a master at it. So I don't know how to teach that part yet. I know how to teach everything else that I've learned so far. That part, because I just learned it, I don't quite know how to teach it or explain what I'm seeing. But once I figure out how to do that, I will explain it and I will make a video. And I think it'll be great because that's going to change everything for me. I know it is. So anyways, whenever it's going up, I'm watching, let's see. Now I'm kind of watching this area. And let's go ahead and go down to the lower time frame here. All right. So we have, let's see, we have all these lows, but this is the London session. Okay. So we never took out the London low. Never took out the London low. We took out the Asian low, which I don't have it marked here, but just take my word for it. We took out the Asian low. We never took the London low. And then we just expanded and basically just ran up all day. That's all we did. So here was a bit of my sell side liquidity. And then we had some data highs and lows from CPI. And then the only thing on the long side, I mean, we had these up here, relative equal highs up here on the 15 minute. But other than that, I didn't see any reason for price to come down any lower. Like I just didn't. So I was not looking for a long, short at all. So then here we have the 930 where we kind of dipped down and then we just went straight up, right? So let me go down to the 1 minute chart here. So I can kind of show what happened. All right. So here was the data high, data low. And we had our open. Because I was really bullish and expecting to go to this daily fair value gap, right here we opened. We had this bit of sell side liquidity here. And this bullish order block right here was all we needed. Send price here, expanded up, and I said, it's not coming back down. Like it's just not. Then you had this one dipped into here. And then another expansion here. Where basically you take this right here and then pushed all the way on up through. And this right here is where I wanted to enter price. I wanted to enter right here and take it up through this daily fair value gap. I did not. I did not. So we pulled back here, and the only reason why is because I wanted to see if we were going to pull back into this further. And that's bitten me a lot of times before in my trading. Where I'm like, oh, let's see if it gives a deeper pullback. And I don't get in and it just takes off. Because see, here's the thing. If I would have got in here, let's go ahead and put a long position. If I would have got in right here where I wanted to, my stop would have had to be down at least to this low. Maybe even this low would be the safest. So that's like a 46-point stop. Then my target would have been the low here. It would have been a 1.2 ratio. If I wanted to go for a 2 to 1, it would have been like right up here somewhere. There we go. Which, yeah, that's fine. But this was a very big stop. 46 points, and I didn't size down or anything. So like I would have had to size down. I didn't do that. I thought about it. I was like, and then it just, you see, like it spent no time. No time. It just tapped it, went in a little bit and just took off. So I was like, I can't chase it now. So now we came up here, pull back here, and then look how we went above the midpoint of it and just stayed there, right? So because of that, and we left this portion open, basically from the high right here of this fair value gap to this wick high right there. We left that open. So I'm like, we're going to go fill that. We're going to. But, so I'm like, maybe I can get a trade there. So this was the bad thing. I was kind of chasing the trade today. So then I see this fair value gap here. And then we have this one here. But it wasn't just these. It wasn't the, I wasn't even worried about this one. It wasn't just this one. On the 5 minute, we had a fair value gap there as well. So let me mark that one on the 5 minute. We had this 5 minute gap. So I was looking at that. And I was like, okay, if that holds, we're going to go higher. So now, let's go back. Here we go. So I was like, okay. And then a fresh 15 minute. Let me see if I can put that one up. A fresh 15 minute fair value gap formed as well. So I'm like, there's no way it's going to invert that. Like, it's going to go up and it's going to fill that. It's going to fill the rest of this here. There's no way it's going to come back down. So let's see what happened here. All right. So price came back and I said, if we touch this, I'm going to go long. So we came down. Look where the bodies are closing. And then bam, we got this wick that hit inside all this area. They came back up and closed right there, right? So here was the issue for me. So I said I'm going to go long if it hits this right here, which that would have been great. If I would have got long right there, it would have been fine. Because then my stop could have been lower, like under here. Or because this bar right here created this fair value gap. So I can at least been under the bar that created it. Then we have this little order block here, right? That can hopefully hold. But that's not where I got in. I waited and then price closed here. And then I wanted to see price hold support in this area. So it did. And then it came up and it kind of stayed up here. So somewhere in this area, this is where I entered in. Right here. So my entry was way up here. It was like around 221 or something. Like somewhere in this area. So now because of that, where did I have to put my stop? Here, let's clear this out. Well, I'm not going to put it way down here because then if I did that, we're looking at, it was like 220 something. So if I did that all the way down here, we're looking at the same thing, 50, like a 50 point stop. So I put it under this swing low right here. You can see this swing low. That's where I put it. So should I put it there? Well, I didn't think price would come back below that before going up here. But look what happened. It did. But so what I had to do was my entry, like I said, was somewhere around this area. As price is coming down, I'm like, man, it could want to reach further into that 5 minute, maybe further into this 15 minute down here too, before going up. So what do? Do I leave my stop here and probably get stopped out right here? Or do I go ahead and move it under this 5 minute fair value gap and risk more? Well, I put it under this 5 minute fair value gap and risk more. I mean, it's where my stop should have been, but the bad thing is if it would have lost, I would have lost more money, right? I would have lost more than what I would have. I won today. It's a small win. So then as you can see, it went down here. And then this is what I should have actually waited on. For price to pull back into here and then wait for this displacement here. Take this swing, this fair value gap right here, enter here to go long through there. That's what I really should have done, but I didn't. So then it finally went up and it got so close And I didn't like, where did I put I pulled my stop up somewhere. It got close and I pulled my stop up and it tagged me out and I made like 13 points or something. Forgot where it tagged me out. Oh, right here, like over here. So I put my stop up under this, I believe, and it tagged me out somewhere in here and then it went up. So that's how it works. So that was my trade. Not very happy with it, but you know, it'll be better. It'll be better. So, and today was CPI day. And so let's go ahead and pull up the video real quick so I could take you through that. And here we go. So you can see this is where I was talking about. This is where I was like, man, I feel like price is going to, here, let me fast forward it a little bit. See, I had the 15-minute fair value gap here. It reached down and look at that. This is where I was looking for it, thinking price is going to reach down too. And it did. And I'm like, okay, but I want to make sure that it's not going to, continue down a little further first. So I wanted to make sure this is as low as it's going to go. And I want to see it hold up in this area before I go long. So now I'm waiting. I'm like, okay, I want to see where this closes. Got 2 seconds. It's about to close. Now I'm like, all right, let's see it. I want to see it respect the midpoint of this wick right here. That's what I'm looking for. So obviously it does. So let me fast forward a little bit because I'm about to enter. But look at my entry. It comes up here and I'm like, See, I waited a while. Like the best entry was right here when it went right into this area. Now I decided to get in because I'm thinking it should displace now, but it doesn't. And now watch. I'm going to go fast here because it took a while. And it never displaced. And this is where it's pulling back. And see, I had my stop right there, and then I pull my stop back down. It's not optimal. I don't like that. So I pulled it down. You can see where I pulled it down. Right here. Right here underneath. Okay, there he goes. I was like, oh man, I'm about to lose. And there we go. Just fast forward a little more. Okay, then it finally did that. It's finally starting to try to displace, take these highs, leave a gap there. Starts getting up there. See, it starts getting up there. It's looking good. But then look at this pullback. It's like, man, it's struggling. Left this fair value gap. I decided to go for more because I'm like, it's going to go higher. But just needed it to really get there. It was just really struggling. Then I measure these out. See, if I would have never pulled my stop up, I would have won, but it was struggling so much and I already didn't like my entry. So I was like, man, you know what? I want to get something out of this. I don't want to get knocked out at break even if it does decide to pull back down. So I go ahead and pull my stop up underneath this low right here, or this down candle. And really, with all these wicks, see, I didn't like that wick right there. And then like this wick. You can see all these wicks. It was really struggling to get above that. I should have just closed it there. But came down. It really wanted to go into this one. Took me out. And that was it. And then from this point on, right here, later, it sure enough just kept going. So but that's it. That's what it is. It is what it is. So anyways, that was that trade. I feel like it's going to be, much better. And I'm going to go into on these next trade recaps. I have more. Basically what I found is a way to make it more mechanical. Where it's like, if this, then that. Like, I need this. If this happens, then I'm looking for this. If it doesn't happen, then I'm not trading. So that's basically where it's at for me. So because of that, I think it'll be a lot better. I actually believe I'm going to get my win rate up higher. And I believe I'm definitely going to be aiming for 2-to-1 ratios on all my trades. So we'll see how that plays out for the rest of May. But anyways, if you're still with me here, I definitely appreciate you watching my videos. I hope you get something out of them. I do have a lot more coming. I know I keep saying that, but I really do. I have a lot more coming. I have a free how to trade futures course. It should be ready by next week, not this weekend, but the following weekend. I have it's free. I have another course that I'm going to do that's going to be free of how I trade ICT concepts. I have a lot of stuff in the pipeline. So stay with me. Hang in here. This stuff's going to be rolling out, and it's going to be coming out soon. So, all right. I hope y'all have a great, great evening. Hope y'all had a wonderful day. Let's go finish this week out strong. So, as always, trade well, everybody. Talk to you later.